From Frankie Beverly to Faith Evans, from Anita Baker to Andre 3000, from Maxwell to Megan Thee Stallion, the music has always held the lessons. We just didn't know we were supposed to be taking notes. Welcome to Lyrical Lessons with Leo. I'm your girl, Leo Rochelle, your lyrical therapist in the building. This is the show where we dive into old school R&B, southern hip hop, neo soul, and everything beyond to uncover the emotional and psychological lessons hiding in the lyrics. Because the music's been your therapist all along. Now let me help you understand what it's been saying. This is Lyrical Lessons, and I'm your girl Leo Rochelle. What's good, y'all? Good evening. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I hope y'all enjoy that intro. And as y'all can see, I didn't brought out, my little silkiness because tonight we are discussing the song Pillow Talk by Sylvia. And this song, listen, y'all, it came out in 1973. Y'all want to know how I know this song? From my mama. But this song will pop up in my head every once in a while, and then I will hum it for days, can't remember the name, and then I have to do the whole Shazam thing or Google thing in order to remember the name of the song. And then I go find it and I listen to it on repeat for hours on end because the song just does something to me. So this is why this is song number 2. And if you did not catch last week we did Something in the Way You Make Me Feel by Stephanie Mills. And listen, that was a deep dive for us. And I hope y'all are sticking around to get all of these lyrical lessons, all of this fun, all of these deep dives into the lyrics to help you see what you didn't see initially. So tonight, this song talks about the power of intimacy, persuasion, and emotional influence in relationships. Okay. This song is sensual, playful, and confident. But underneath the seduction is a deeper lesson about how intimacy can blur the lines between desire, influence, and emotional decision making. Okay. Listen, I got my notes ready. The doc is in the building. The lyrical therapist is in the house tonight. And we're not even going to hold you. We're not even going to take a long time. We're going to go ahead and hop down into these lyrics because I got a lot of lessons for y'all on tonight. The lyrical breakdown. The first lyric. Oh, you can't find love on a one-way street. It takes two to tango. It takes two to even compete. Now, them some lyrics for you. And that's actually my favorite line in the song because when you think about relationship dynamics and how we talk about reciprocity, you cannot have a relationship or love on a one-way street. Love is a two-way street. And we've always said that. That's always been a cliche phrase or statement that's made when we talk about relationships and love. It is a two-way street, okay? But it takes two to tango, and it takes two to even compete. If it's only you, you can't be competing. Who are you competing against? So it takes two to tango and two to even compete. This line in this song is one of the most honest relationship truths hidden inside of a seductive song. And I hope y'all go listen to these songs that I'm giving y'all these tidbits of information from because they do something, they allow something, they open up something. And this song, again, it's one of those songs that I put on repeat and listen to it for hours on end while I'm working. I think that's a little bit of the neurodivergency tapping in. But it is one of those songs that I listen to and it puts me into a trance and takes me somewhere. It is super sexy, super seductive, but also if you listen to the words, you learn a little bit of something. Sylvia is reminding the listener that connection cannot exist when only one person is invested. That is not something that happens. You cannot be in a relationship where one person is the only one invested. If it's only one person, then you don't have a relationship. You have a situationship. You have something that is totally, absolutely one sided, non reciprocal. And I bet you, if you were to ask that person what this thing was or what this situation was, they wouldn't be able to give you the clarity that you need in order to navigate an active relationship. Okay? So, love is not something you can convince someone into. It has to be mutual. Okay? And sometimes people stay in relationships where they are the only one trying, communicating, forgiving, showing up, doing, and that's not a real relationship. That is a situationship, and you are the only participant in that situation. Because we think sometimes that the more we do, the more we give, that the more this person would appreciate. And if they haven't appreciated what you've done, how you've shown up, or what you've given at this point, then why would you think doing more would give them the push to show up more? It's not. You are going to end up in a situation where you find yourself constantly battling and fighting for someone who is already showing you that they do not value you because they aren't even willing to meet you halfway. They are not showing up. They are not forgiving. They are not communicating. They are not trying. They are not doing anything to show you that they value you or appreciate how you've shown up for them. And words are cool, but love is a verb, and actions, you got to do the actions. You got to put the actions behind the words. You cannot just say things and then not actively show up or do what's necessary in that connection or in that relationship. Okay? Because you know what that creates? Emotional exhaustion. You become emotionally overwhelmed and exhausted when you are the only person actively showing up in a connection and in a relationship. It ain't gonna work, honey bun. I'm sorry to tell you. A one-way street eventually leads to resentment and loneliness, even when you're not technically alone. You can be in a relationship, and that's what I always say, just because you're in a relationship does not mean you cannot be lonely. It can feel very lonely in a relationship where you are actively the only one doing all of the things to maintain that emotional connection and things of that nature. You might just be better off not operating in that relationship at all. We have to learn to understand when to cut things off. And that's one of the lessons in the last episode of Lyrical Lessons. So go check it out. But that is absolutely one of the lessons. You have to be in a space where the energy is being reciprocated, where all of those kind of things are lining up, and so that you don't feel alone, so that you do see the fruits of the work that you've put into a relationship. So if it's only you, if it's one-sided, if it feels funky, if it feels as though you're the only one giving and doing and showing and forgiving and all of that good stuff, another one of my favorite songs is I Think I Better Let It Go. Looks like another love TKO. Okay. Go ahead and let it go, baby boo, because it is not going to serve you. And then what it will do is create a space of resentment, anger, frustration, and all of those things towards the other person instead of when you see that you are not being reciprocated and things of that nature. It's time to bounce, boo. Okay. So the mental theme for this particular lyric is reciprocity and emotional investment. Okay. We always gonna prevent them toxic outcomes. So in order to do that, stop over functioning in relationships. Pay attention to effort, not promises. And then last, if you feel like you're dragging the relationship forward alone, pause it and reassess. Ain't nothing wrong with taking a pause for the cause to make sure that all of your work and effort that you are putting into a relationship is being reciprocated and appreciated. And if not, it is okay to cut the cord. Okay. So, your reflective question for this lyric is: have you ever tried to love someone hard enough for both of you? Damn, I be asking some good questions. But have you ever tried to love someone hard enough for the both of you? And if you have to think about why. What was your reason for trying to love someone or be in a relationship where your love was enough for the both of you? And I'm thinking about that myself. Have I been in a relationship where I tried to love someone hard enough for the both of us? And I have, and it's exhausting. It is exhausting. It makes you question yourself, your worth, your everything. It makes you question your everything at the end of the day. So I encourage you, if you are in a one-way street type of situation, to make sure that you are reassessing on a regular. And also, you shouldn't be reassessing on a regular. Let me take that back. You should reassess. And if you decide after the reassessment that you no longer want to participate in that kind of situation, then it would behoove you to go ahead and let it go ahead and dip out, go ahead and do what's best for you, your mental health, your physical health, your financial health, as well as your spiritual health. Because we can't be out here being raggedy and misappropriating our energy. There's too much going on in the world anyway. Okay? So, lyric number 2, let's break it down. Let's break it down. What your friends all say is fine, but it can't compete with this pillow talk of mine. Now let's dive on in, because Cynthia was spitting her shit. Okay, I'm not even gonna hold you. Sylvia is acknowledging the influence of friends, okay? But she's also saying something a lot more powerful. Yeah, your friends can say whatever they gonna say. Your friends can give you all of the advice, the information, and tidbits that they want to give you. But none of that is going to compare to this emotional connection that we got over here in private. Nothing on the outside can compare to what's happening over here on the inside when we laying down and you rubbing on my little silk robe, and our private connection is doing so much more than they could even understand or know about. Um this is where many relationships become complicated, because intimacy can make people ignore the red flags. We just talked about red flags in the last episode too. Sometimes we ignore the red flags, we ignore the advice from loved ones and patterns that don't feel healthy. Because Sylvia is literally saying, I don't care what your boy is talking about. My pillow talk is gonna top all of that, and everything that they saying. Yeah, that's cool. But once we get in this bed, once we get to connecting, once we get to kissing, touching, and rubbing, is any of that really gonna matter? So you have to decide on what you're paying attention to. Because in some relationships, what people will do is try to control you enough that you are no longer even acknowledging friendships or outside relationships, and they will manipulate you to the point where you are actively excluding yourself from those relationships or from outside influence, conversations, connections, or any of that, and solely dependent upon this one connection. Now, that may be a thing, man or woman. It happens on both sides. But some things are not healthy, and that's one of the things that is not healthy. Pillow talk is powerful because it happens in moments of vulnerability. It happens when our guards are down. We get ready to go to sleep. We are laying down. Pillow talk is happening when my guards are down, my defenses are down, I'm vulnerable, I'm open, I'm honest. And sometimes we get a whole lot more honest when we're going to sleep than we would be any other time. We would be more honest when we're going to sleep than we are when we're drunk. Some of us get even more honest when we're drunk if we're thinking about it. But the honesty that happens during pillow talk hours or times of pillow talk is a lot more vulnerable, and vulnerability can, again, lower your emotional defenses. So you are more prone to listen, to engage, to open up, to talk, and let all of your secrets and those kind of things happen at pillow talk time. You even tell other people secrets sometimes when pillow talk is happening. So be careful out here in these streets. And sometimes what pillow talk does is build intimacy, it builds trust. And then those are the times where it's used to soften your boundaries so that you can start telling secrets, so that you can start opening up and giving information that you wouldn't give otherwise. And so now they have ammunition against you. They have some ammunition to use when they're talking to your friends. Oh, so you didn't tell me the other night James be such and such and such and such and such and such. Oh, you didn't tell me that Troy does blah, 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 blah. You see what I mean? So we got to be careful with that pillow talk, because pillow talk get you real, get you in the mood. Okay. Pillow talk gets you really in the groove and in the mood to just say all the things and be real open and honest. And so sometimes it can be a bigger red flag than some of the other red flags that we notice. The other red flags that are blatant and noticeable. Okay. All right. So this mental thing for this line is influence and emotional persuasion. We're gonna prevent these toxic outcomes, and how we do that is to listen to trusted outside perspectives. Take everything with a grain of salt, but listen, be in tune, be willing to understand and gain an understanding of what's being said to you. You sift through that and then you take what you need and leave the rest. Okay. But again, it said trusted outside perspective, not just any random person, not just the guy at the gas station. We're not trusting those perspectives, but we are trusting the perspectives of people that we actively and truly trust. Okay. All right. Emotional closeness should not erase your standards. Just because we are emotionally close, that does not mean that you should lower your standards in any shape, form, or fashion. Your standards should be what they are, regardless of how close we get. Okay? Intimacy should deepen clarity, not cloud it. We just talked about clarity on the last show. Let me tell y'all something. I wasn't even putting two and two together, but here it is. 2 and 2 is equaling 4 for me. So, intimacy should deepen clarity. If you are being intimate or connecting with somebody and you feel even more confused than you did when you started, baby boo, you need to pull up out of that. You need to back up a little bit and figure out why there is a conundrum happening with you and how you are being able to perceive this relationship. because this relationship is doing something to you that you are unaware of, and it's clouding your judgment and your ability to navigate situations accordingly. Okay? All right. And the reflective question for this lyric: have you ever ignored good advice because the connection felt too good to question? You was like, no, my boy, this feel too good. This shit feel right. It feel good. I don't know what to tell you. I ain't listening no more. So, have you ever ignored good advice because the connection felt too good to question? Hey, I think we've all been there before. But lyric breakdown number 3, let's break it on down. I don't want to see you be no fool. What I'm teaching you tonight, boy, you'll never learn it in school. Y'all see what I mean when I said Sylvia was spitting her shit? This lyric is playful, but it also touches on something very real. There are emotional lessons that life teaches through experience and not instruction. School teaches knowledge. Relationships teach boundaries, communication, emotional awareness, vulnerability, and self-worth. Again, there are some things that you just have to learn through experience. Some things you have to learn through actively being enthralled in those spaces. What is it called? Immersion therapy. Okay. You have to be immersed in certain situations in order for you to gain the understanding and the life lessons from those things. I remember my mom used to say to me, well, I'm just trying to help you keep from bumping your head. And me being me, I used to say, well, maybe sometimes I need to bump my head. Now, that wasn't the smartest thing I've ever said, but it was also very smart and wise, because there are lessons that you can only learn in life by actively being a part of some things. People can tell you how they learned their lesson and try to give you advice so that you don't have to go down the hard road that they went down. But it may not be beneficial. Sometimes you actively do have to bump your head or go through hard times in order to learn your lesson, because some lessons won't happen and you'll continue to go through those situations until you learn your lesson. So you have to just experience some things for yourself, okay? The real lesson here is about learning through connection and communication. Learning through connection. I learned how to show up for you through connection. I learned what things you value, the things that make you laugh, that make you cry, that make you fearful or scared. Those are the only things that I can learn by interacting with you through our connection. I couldn't learn those things if I'm not connected to you or curious about you or want to understand more about the person that you are or the experiences that you've had. Because if I'm not willing to understand you or hear you or any of that, can I really learn anything? Can I really understand when you're vulnerable, when you are emotionally aware of what's happening around you? Some things don't happen through conversation. Some things happen through experience. And if I'm experiencing you in the right way, and I'm seeing how you move, and I'm seeing how you doing, then I can actively say, oh, this is what I'm learning in this connection. This is what I'm experiencing in this connection with you. Some of the most impactful emotional education we receive comes through love, intimacy, heartbreak, and healing. Some really good lessons have come out of heartbreak. Some really good lessons have come out of healing and love. And because love can heal us, love feels really good when it's healthy. Okay? That's all I'm going to say, when it's healthy. Some of us have been in connections that haven't been so healthy, that felt good, but they weren't healthy at all. Okay? So the mental theme for this lyric is emotional education. Okay? And the emotional education is going to help us to prevent those toxic outcomes. We got to learn from experiences instead of repeating them. Ain't that what I said? We got to learn from them. Because if we don't learn from them, you will continue to go through the same thing over and over and over again until you learn the lesson. Okay? Intimacy should teach growth, not dependency. When you are in an intimate, close connection with someone, it should teach you about growing, expanding, becoming a better person than you were before. Intimacy should not make you feel worse. Because a lot of times that's what we do. We get into relationships and we're with somebody and we're connected to them and we become worse. And it's because what? It wasn't healthy. It was not a healthy relationship. The relationship within itself was very toxic, or the relationship pushed you beyond the mental capacity that you had. It pushed you beyond your emotional capacity. And yes, some relationships are going to push you, but when you start to doubt your self-worth, your self-esteem is lowered, your confidence is lowered, those are red flags that we should be aware of. So make sure you are not becoming dependent on that relationship or that person to help sustain you emotionally, financially, mentally, spiritually, and that you are learning to ground yourself so that you can navigate life with or without this person. Okay? And then last but not least, healthy relationships expand your understanding of yourself. It should help you to tap in and learn some more about yourself so that you can show up in a different way in this relationship, but also for yourself. When you're in a relationship, you are not just showing up for that person in a different way. You are showing up for yourself. So the lessons that you learn are going to help you to actively show up in a different way for yourself. If you weren't the best person when it came down to finances and the person that you're with helped you to learn something or taught you things about financial stability and things like that, those lessons you are able to take from that relationship, apply it to your life, and keep using it. So it's expanding your understanding of yourself and how your relationship to money may be, how your relationship to vulnerability may be, to intimacy, all of those kind of things. So the reflective question is, what emotional lessons have your relationships taught you that life never explained beforehand? What did you learn because of this relationship that you did not know anything about? Huh? What did you learn? Okay. And then this is my favorite one. Like I said, this is one of my favorite songs. So, lyric number 4. Let's break it down. Hey, baby, let me be the one who turns you on from A to Z. Hey, baby, let me be the one. Okay. But this line leans into the sensual energy of the song, but it also highlights her confidence and ownership of desire. We don't talk about desire enough. We don't talk about what it looks like to fully desire the intimacy, the connection, and the physical part of a relationship. We talk a lot about emotions and all of those things. But we very seldomly do a deep dive into the intimacy and desire and pleasure that comes from a relationship. And I mean physical pleasure. I mean that good old good loving body rocking, knocking boots all night long. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If y'all know me, then y'all know. But that's what I'm saying. This lyric is leaning into, let me be that person for you. Let me be the person that's turning you on, making you feel good, and, you know, making you want to come home early some days so we can get it on, or come home right after work, because I want to be that person that turns you on when you are here, and even when you're not here, I can still turn you on and make you feel some type of way that makes you want to rush home. Um she isn't shy about expressing attraction or pleasure. You should always tell the person that you're with that you're attracted to them, that they are pleasing to you, that you desire them, that you want them. Because if you aren't telling that person that, then have y'all seen the internet? It's so many people out there will tell your person how much they attracted to them and that they are pleasing to their eyes, or that they desire them, or they're attracted to them, and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying, you might want to start telling your person that you desire them and that you want them to be the one to please you. Because if you don't, somebody else will. Okay. Uh, that's important. Because historically, women's desires has often been framed as passive. We have to be open and be willing to say those things. I know sometimes women have been told you don't express sexual desire. You don't express those things. Why the hell not? I'm human just like any other man. I should be able to express my desires to you without feeling crazy about it, or feeling like you're going to judge me for it. So I should easily be able to say, come here, baby, let me turn you on. However you gonna say it. But you should be able to do it playfully and unapologetically with your person. Okay. Um, this lyric reminds us that owning your sensuality, your sexuality, your emotional expression, your sexual prowess is part of personal power. There is so much power in knowing who you are and where you stand, and to know that saying this to your person or the person that you are actively involved with means so much to them. Okay. The mental theme, confidence in desire. Okay. Preventing toxic outcomes. In order to prevent those toxic outcomes, we're going to express our desire without losing self respect. Okay. Confidence should come from within, not from the validation that you are seeking from this person. Be confident in who you are, and still pop your shit, express your desires without feeling like you are slutting yourself out. I mean, and if that's what you want to do, then cool. But make sure that you are still respecting yourself, even as you express desire or wants from the person. Intimacy should feel empowering, not transactional. Okay. It should not feel like I gave you something, you give me something. Okay. You should feel empowered when you are intimate with someone. It should make you feel like you could conquer anything. The intimacy level or the connection with that person should not make you feel like I shouldn't even did that shit. And not because it was something that you wanted to try, but because that interaction made you feel less valuable. It made you feel less appreciated or loved or less cared for. You know, some connections and interactions can easily make you feel like it was transactional. That, All the only thing that was missing was the $40 on the nightstand, is what I'm saying. That's the only thing missing from that interaction, and nobody wants to feel that way. So the reflective question is, do you feel comfortable expressing what you want emotionally and physically in relationships? Do you? Do you? I just wonder. Okay. And pillow talk isn't just flirtation, it's a moment where emotions open up, boundaries soften, influence increases. And we all want that. We all want those opportunities to get closer, to be more vulnerable, to be softer. Okay. And intimacy, that means intimacy carries responsibility. You do have a responsibility to the person that you are having this pillow talk with. You have a responsibility to maintain those secrets, to maintain those moments and those opportunities where you are being intimate with that person. A lot of us have those moments and we go share them with the world. That's not what pillow talk is for. And pillow talk also isn't the space to dish dirt. Pillow talk is meant for the intimacy to be built between you and your partner, the intimacy levels to be enhanced and increased by you and your partner, talking about your desires, talking about what you both want, talking about what you see for your future, but also giving insight to one another about the things that you want when it comes to pleasure, physical and emotional pleasure. And those are the ways that we are going to activate this pillow talk. Okay. Not dishing dirt and not talking about who did what with who and when they did it. Okay. Um, Again, there is a responsibility. And because the words spoken in the quiet moments, those words can either build trust or create an illusion. Okay. It can create the illusion of care, concern, consideration, and it can create the illusion that this person is actually caring for you. So be mindful of what you do during pillow talk. So the real lesson here is connection should deepen honesty and not replace it. And just because something feels good in the moment, it doesn't mean it should override what you know is right for you. Okay? So we want to make sure that we tapping in. And before I go, ask yourself this. When you have ignored outside advice, what did it do? How did it make you feel? What does healthy emotional influence look like in your relationships? And how can you balance passion with clarity? I want y'all to think about that and come back to me. Come back to me and tell me. And I'm getting ready to get up out of here, y'all. Time is flying in a for real way. But that's this week's session of Lyrical Lessons with Leo. And I'm your girl, Leo Rochelle, your lyrical therapist. And this is a PGC production. If this lesson, I got tongue tied right there. If this lesson resonated with you, share it with somebody. If you got a song request, send it to me. And the couch is always open. All right. Next week, we tapping into Space Age Pimpin' by 8 Ball and MJG. I know you didn't think I was gonna go there, but if you know, you know. So go ahead and get ready. Listen to the tunes and come with your own lyrics to help me know which lyrics caught your ear and what you learned from it. Until then, keep listening to the music, keep listening to yourself, and then get ready to get on the couch with me once again next week. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms that I am Leo Rochelle. And if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do so. The Fat Girl Chronicles, PGC Media, and PGC After Dark. We will catch you soon. So go ahead and get in tune And your girl is finna get out because it's time for me to have a little pillow talk of mine. Okay? Good night, y'all. Be easy. And whatever you do for the rest of the evening and the rest of the week, y'all, don't do it with your half ass. Do it with your whole ass, y'all. Peace. Hey, baby, what you say is true.